Alright, it's been a while since I updated my Switch collection, so yeah, let's see, I have one, two, probably about 7 or 8 games. This shouldn't take too long. I still have way more behind me. This is going to be a long video. Hey everyone, how's it going? Total Level here with another collection video. We're updating my Nintendo Switch collection for 2024, so last year around this time I did my Switch collection for 2023, and at the time I had 65 physical games. Now I have over 120 of them, so yeah, safe to say I like collecting for the Switch. It's just an awesome system. I love so many of the games on it, and yeah, so we're going to do an updated collection video on this, and I did a poll asking people what kind of video format they wanted, and over 60% of you voted for one long video that shows everything, so that's what we're going to do, as yeah, would be happy to do pretty much any type of format, but it's always nice to get community feedback to see what they would want, so thank you for voting. As yeah, over the last few months, I record gameplay for just about every one of these Switch games, as yeah, that's one thing I want to talk about is when it comes to the compilation kind of games, you know, where you have 2 or more games in one, you know, some of these, especially if I haven't really played through the games yet, like say the Grandia remaster or Baten Kaitos, I'm only going to show the first game of those just because I don't want spoilers for myself or anything like that, so just so you know, because yeah, I do plan on playing like Grandia 1 and 2 for next year, probably before like Suikoden remaster comes out or the Lunar remaster comes out, right? So yeah, just letting you know. Also, a lot of these games that I have on Switch, I also already own either physically or digitally on like PC, PS4, things like that. So if I already recorded gameplay for those ones, I will show kind of the PS4, PC versions of those, but I'll point those out because obviously the Switch will have different, you know, performance aspects, right? So yeah. But I wasn't going to like re-record the same game for a different system if I already had that gameplay recorded, right? If I already played these games on other systems but I didn't have the gameplay for them, then yeah, I'll show the Switch ones. But yeah, just so you know, and again, I'll point those out. I'll show pictures of like the front, back, and inside of the Switch games before we get into the gameplay and talk about them too. And you'll notice some of these games will have instruction manuals that normally don't, and that's because I bought fan-made ones by Rowan, so I'll leave a link to his link tree down below for people to check his stuff out and his manuals and everything if you're interested in that sort of stuff. And then there was, yeah, one last thing is I'm going to put kind of timestamps on different sections of games, like talking about the Nintendo exclusive games, RPGs, farming sims, things like that. So if a game doesn't show up in a certain genre, like say Rune Factory and Harvestella could be, you know, they're RPGs, right? But I'm going to put them in the farming sim category. So yeah, if certain games aren't in certain categories, just know they're probably in a different one. So I think that just about covers it. So yeah, get your popcorn ready. This is going to be a long one. Hope you all enjoy. Let's look at my entire Nintendo Switch collection. So to start, we'll start with all the Nintendo first and second party games, and have to start with Mario. So starting with Super Mario Odyssey, since this was kind of the big title for Nintendo's kind of launch year, right, for Mario anyways, coming out in 2017. Really fun game, really enjoy Cappy and everything like that, but I remember after being it was like, I don't know, something was missing, right? Like maybe I was just missing some of the older enemies and things like that. It's a super fun game, but when I look back, it's not as big of a favorite anymore, and part of that is probably because I do like 2D Mario more than 3D ones these days, but regardless, it is still a fantastic game, and if a sequel ever came out for it and things like that, I would be really up for it. And I mean, Jump Up Superstar is super catchy, like really fun song, really fun game. So yeah, Nintendo had a really great launch year with the Switch. And moving on now, we have Super Mario Brothers Wonder. So yeah, this felt like this was going to be the swan song for Nintendo last year and everything, but of course we still don't know when the next Nintendo console's coming out, but it just felt like the last big Mario game, and then yeah, we keep getting more, right? But oh, what, you know, pun intended, but yeah, what a wonderful game, right? It's just very charming, colorful, fun, you know, it's just, yeah, such a great time, great game, and yeah, I really enjoyed my time with Super Mario Wonder. Then we have Super Mario All-Stars 3D or 3D All-Stars, and this one was kind of like, I was a bit mixed with it just with how it was treated, right? Because, you know, Galaxy was the only one that felt like it got a bit of a treatment, right? With 64 and Sunshine, like, you know, there were things that could have been improved and things that were missing, and, you know, speedrunners hate this version too because with Super Mario 64 they kind of patched a few of the issues, right? And man, it needs a remake, right? Because it's as cool as it was back in the day on the N64, it's rough, but you know, it's still a very solid package for 3 great 3D Mario platformers. Then we have Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. This port of the Wii U title is fantastic. 3D World is very underrated to me, like it's such a fun game, and then adding Bowser's Fury was just such a cool bonus, right? And even though that doesn't last very long, it's a very short kind of like 3 to 5 hour experience, it's still really cool to have that. It's really fun. Does get a bit annoying, Bowser constantly chasing you and all that, but hey, it's still a fantastic package regardless. Next, there's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So again, cool port of Wii U title that included all the DLC that the Wii U version had, and then they added more DLC to this. I do wish they would create a new Mario Kart and just call it Nintendo Kart at this point, since now you have, you know, Link and Animal Crossing and all this other stuff kind of crossed over, right? But yeah, really cool experience too, and I mean, it's Mario Kart, it's always such a good time. I don't think I need to say much more than that, it's just fantastic. Then there's Super Mario RPG. Man, this remake is amazing. It's just one of the most like near perfect experiences, and usually I wouldn't say that for a game that's this short, but man, it's just fun to play, and you know, has great characters in it. It's just, yeah, it's really cool, and hopefully we'll get a sequel at some point now that they did the remake, and I'm guessing it was received really well, so yeah, we'll see. Then, speaking of remakes, we have Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Best Paper Mario game ever, right? It's just, yeah, it's so cool. Now, I haven't played too much of the remake since I played a lot of the original GameCube version, right? So, haven't dove into this one too much, but yeah, it's just such a cool experience. I do wish, like, Nintendo would make one Paper Mario that's in this kind of JRPG realm, because most of them now after this have kind of been more like adventure games with light RPG elements to them, but regardless of all that, it's just, yeah, such a cool game. Maybe we'll get a remake of their original N64 one at some point, we'll see, but yeah, awesome game. And then Paper Mario, the Origami King, highly underrated. I love this game so much. There's so much humor. The battle system is really clever. It's such a cool battle system because it's a puzzle each time. You have this kind of roulette type wheel and you have to line up the enemies perfectly to get like attack bonuses and to, you know, kind of damage all of them at once, right? And then for bosses, it's kind of the opposite. You're on the outside of the ring trying to get in to hit the boss, and yeah, just such a fun, cool experience where Olivia, this kind of origami fairy figure that follows you, like her brother wants to turn everyone to origami because apparently that would be super evil. I don't know. But yeah, just such a cool, charming game, and I know quite a few people don't like this one, but to me, man, it's so underrated. Then we have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So again, haven't played too much of this one yet. I do plan on trying to play it maybe sometime early next year or something like that. It is in my kind of rotation to finally get through, but really cool combat, beautiful looking game. I'm not a big fan of the rabbits or anything. They're kind of it's like minions from Despicable Me, right? It's just kind of gets a bit annoying after a while, but combat wise it's really cool. It's XCOM kind of style, this turn-based combat. Mario uses a gun, which somehow is weird considering, you know, Mario has done a lot of weird things, but that seems so weird. But yeah, it's just cool. And then we have Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, haven't played this one too much yet just because I'm trying to get through first one, but yeah, I still wanted to record gameplay because I mean, it's like, it's Mario, it's not like it's going to be a big story spoiler if I play this early, right? But you know, same type of combat, a few changes here and there, but yeah, it seems pretty cool. Then we have Luigi's Mansion 2, the HD remaster. So yeah, Luigi's Mansion's, like, really glad I got this because I only played and beat the first game so far. I have the second game on 3DS but never got through it, which for whatever reason we were afraid of the number 2 in North America. We called it Dark Moon instead, and yeah, weird, but I guess we got over our fear of the number 2 to have 2 on this one. But yeah, these are usually pretty charming, fun, you know, puzzle games with very light horror elements. I'm not even sure you can call them horror, it's cartoony horror, right? But yeah, it's still really charming game, and it's cool to have Luigi really get the spotlight these days because we also have Luigi's Mansion 3. Again, haven't played too much of this yet just because, yeah, it is in my rotation again to play through these games hopefully sometime either in December or early next year. And yeah, it just seems really cool, but yeah, not much to say about this so far. Now we move on to Zelda games, and gotta start with Breath of the Wild, right? This was a launch title for the Switch and was an instant system seller. Fantastic game. I know this type of Zelda isn't for everyone, but man, did I love this game. You know, just that opening of just waking up and walking into the world and seeing the world. It was such a cool just opening prologue. And yeah, like weapon durability, yes, it sucks. It really does suck in this game. You know, weapons break way too easily. I do wish they had a few kind of older Zelda aspects of like getting certain items that wouldn't break on you like that, right? But either way, just an awesome experience. I loved every second of it. And speaking of loving every second, I loved Tears of the Kingdom as well. Like, you know, again, weapon durability was still a thing, but it wasn't nearly as bad because now you got to combine items together, and so I was constantly being able to make a lot of powerful items. Even if one broke, I had many others to still make, so wasn't as intrusive. The combining elements, not my favorite. It's very kind loosey-goosey, I guess. Like, it's very kind of weird with how it works, but you know, it still was a really cool experience, and yeah, just really enjoyed it. Then we have Zelda Link's Awakening remake, so I still have to play through this. I played and beat the original along with the Game Boy Color version, so I don't know why I haven't gone through and played through this one yet. Maybe because I played through those remakes, but again, just the way everything was remade in this, it's such a cute, charming looking game. I do plan on playing through it. You know, it's one of the few Zeldas that I haven't beaten through yet, so yeah, I definitely have to change that, and yeah, just kind of see myself playing through all of that, but yeah, really cool to have. Then we have Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, so really love this game now. It's not my favorite Zelda. There's a few elements about it that were kind of a little weird here and there, but either way, it's still such a fun game. It's cool to have Zelda have the spotlight there, right? And just kind of take control. It does get a bit intrusive, I guess, when you have so many different echoes at once. It's hard to kind of scroll through the ones you want because, you know, I'm sure most people like me had the beds kind of up and ready, not just to heal for better beds, but also to build nice staircases with them, right? But yeah, it's really cool, different type of Zelda experience, and yeah, really enjoyed my time with that. Then we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, so haven't played through this one too much, but I love my Dynasty Warrior kind of games, right? And I love this crossover. I love that we're seeing more and more games do this crossover, right? It's really, really neat and cool, and yeah, just really awesome to see. So yeah, I still have to beat the original, which I have on Wii U with all the updates and everything. Probably won't get the Switch version because Switch version can be hard to come by, and when you do, it can be pretty expensive, so I'm okay playing the Wii U version and trying to beat that, right? I might miss out on a few things here and there, but that's okay. But yeah, I'm excited to eventually dive through this because yeah, I love these types of games so much. Now we move on to Pokemon, starting with Pokemon Sword. So pretty basic Pokemon game, I would say. You know, nothing like spectacular about this one. Like, it was fun to play through, but yeah, it was a bit boring at times, right? It was very formulaic and not, you know, no exciting kind of villains. You know, you got what, Team Yell, and yeah, a lot of it I kind of forgot about, right? Like, one thing I did like were the Pokemon battles and, like, you know, gym battles and stadiums and everything. I thought that was a nice touch, but yeah, it's it was an okay experience, right? Like, I like Pokemon, but yeah, nothing outstanding about it. Then we have Pokemon Violet, and yeah, I haven't played through this one yet, mainly because, yeah, just hearing about the glitches and even playing early on in the game, right, it's very kind of janky, you know, and so not sure how I feel about it. And again, my love for Pokemon unfortunately has gone down a bit when it comes to these newer games. Like, they kind of lost a lot of the charm for me, and the fact that they still don't have voice acting or anything like that, like, a lot of the times, a lot of these Pokemon games are feeling more and more like just cheaper mobile games, right? Which, yeah, not biggest fan of. There are some Pokemon games I still like on the Switch, which we'll get to later on, but yeah, not sure how I feel with Violet right now. Again, haven't played too much of that. Then we have Pokemon Legends Arceus, so This was different type of game where you're in like the Sinnoh region and you're creating Sinnoh's first ever Pokedex, right? And so to me, I've been playing this off and on a bit because, to be honest, I find it kind of boring. I know a lot of people love this game, but for me, like the initial start, it's like, okay, this is kind of neat and everything. Like, yes, you get a lot of tutorials, but I'm like, okay, it's different, you're catching Pokemon and all that, but when you do it over and over, it's like, that's not exactly what I like Pokemon for. I like doing the battles, I like doing the gyms, and when you get into battles, when you fight like the alpha Pokemon, man, those are really, really fun and kind of challenging too, but there's not enough of it for me, right? So let me know what you think of Pokemon Arceus, right? And, because I know a lot of people love this game. Then we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and yeah, we have Rescue Team DX, so remake of the original Game Boy Advance games that had Red and Blue Rescue Team, and yeah, really love these games. They're dungeon crawlers. I do wish that the place I bought it from didn't have the price tag on the inner part of the cover sleeve, because I can't get that off. I have to leave it on. That does bug me a lot. But either way, yeah, like the game itself, it's not going to be for everyone, but I love the mystery dungeon games. They're just very fun, charming, and a lot of the times they have really deep and sad storylines. Like, it is quite emotional, quite a few of them, right? So yeah, just enjoy my time with them, and yeah, you're just helping out a lot of different Pokemon. Then we have the remakes of Diamond and Pearl with Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. So yeah, I'm only showing the Brilliant Diamond game here because, yeah, why would I need to show both games? They're exactly the same, just different Pokemon, and I have to say I do quite enjoy this. I know a lot of people didn't. Now, I'm not that far in it, so I'm not sure about the glitches or anything, but I know a lot of people had some glitches with it and they didn't like kind of the chibi style, right? But I don't mind the chibi style. I kind of dig it a little bit, right? But yeah, and Diamond and Pearl wasn't my favorite out of all the generations, but it is fun to go back and play this again. Not too far into it right now. And the final Pokemon game we have is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Editions with the Pokemon Plus accessory. So have to say, I'm really enjoying this. I love this so much. It's a remake of Pokemon Yellow, and yeah, it's so fun to go back to. I do wish there were a bit more battles, but I understand that this game was set up to really sell people more on Pokemon Go, right? But yeah, it's just, it brings me back to those childhood days, and I know, like, this game isn't for everyone because of the catching mechanics, and it's weird how I said with Pokemon Legends, it's like I getting tired of the catching, but for this one, I don't know, like, I guess because they kind of lower levels for certain gym battles and all that, so you don't really have to keep catching, or it's very quick how you do it, right? But yeah, and also again the nostalgia factor of going through all just Pallet Town and going to Viridian City, and it makes me happy to play this. Now we move on to the Xenoblade games, starting with the first game. So yeah, fantastic. All of these are fantastic. You're probably tired of hearing me talk about these games over and over, but man, I just love them so much. As yeah, this first one with Shulk and the gang going up against a Mechon, it's just such a good time. Great voice acting, fantastic music, and yeah, they did a really great job with this remake and everything like that. It was just like, it needed it, right? Because if you look at the Wii version, man, that version looks very rough, right? But yeah, really love the game. Then we have Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So now it's Rex and the gang taking action as Rex is helping out Pyra to find Elysium and stop Malos, right? And just, again, I loved every second of this, and again, music, just, man, these games have fantastic music, love it so much, such a fun game. And then we have the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Golden Torna expansion, which, yeah, prequel and everything, so cool. Now, I do wish it didn't force you to do a lot of side quests, because, yeah, you have to do quite a few of them, or all of them, or something like that to actually progress through the game. Not a fan of that, but, you know, they're not too bad, and, yeah, it's just a wonderful story. And then we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I hope one day we get the Future Redeemed expansion as a physical too, right? But, yeah, just Xenoblade 3, my favorite in this series. I love this game so much, of, you know, Noah and Mio and everything like that, where you have two sides of the Agnes and Kevis fighting an endless war against each other until, you know, Noah and the gang all become Ouroboros and are trying to change the, you know, the future and end war altogether by destroying flame clocks so that these nations don't have to fight anymore, right? And just, yeah, wonderful story, super emotional. Like, this was one of those games that got me, like, every type of emotion, of making me cry, making me happy, making me laugh. It was just everything all in one, and the music is amazing. And yeah, Future Redeemed was really cool expansion too. Just I love the Xenoblade games so much. I cannot wait to see what Monolith does next, because man, they have been killing it. Now we have some Fire Emblem games, starting with Three Houses. So I know I have to get on and playing this game, right? Because yeah, it's everyone praises it, right? And I hope to, yeah, maybe do it sometime next year and all that. I was hoping to do it this year, but I had a few other RPG plans this year, right? And yeah, but here's so many great things about this. You have 3 different houses that you pick and choose from, which creates multiple playthroughs, right? And yeah, like, even early on, just a little bit I did play of it, it was really cool. And yeah, I am excited to play through it. Then we have Fire Emblem Engage, which, yeah, this is very mixed with people, right? Some people absolutely love it, other people were super disappointed by it. And early on, me playing it, I'm like, I kind of enjoyed this, right? Like, I would, and that's where I'm thinking, like, I would play Engage first and then do Three Houses after, because maybe my experience will be a bit more fulfilling that way. I'm not sure, but yeah, let me know what you think of Fire Emblem Engage, because yeah, it's a very just mixed bag with people. Then we have Tokyo Mirage Sessions, #FE. But, yeah, this was a kind of weird crossover between Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem, right? Where I think it was originally going to be a Wii U launch title, but then certain delays happened, and yeah, it took a while to get out, and then got a port on the Switch. And again, this one I hear a lot of mixed things about it. Some people love it, some people hate it, and a lot of the hate seems to be, like, I guess they censored the game. I'm not sure which parts or anything, but again, the little bit I played, it was a pretty solid, you know, turn-based RPG. Again, can't say too much about it, haven't played that far, but the little bit I played, it seemed pretty cool. Then we have Metroid Dread, so the return of 2D Metroid, and again, haven't played through this too much, and a lot of it is, I suck at this game. Like, I was playing just a little bit, and it's like, man, it's tough, right? So definitely have to psych myself up before I really dive into that one, but it does seem pretty cool, you know, cool return for 2D. Then we have Metroid Prime Remaster, which, yeah, I love the original on GameCube, and this remaster, man, it does, like, everything just about perfectly. Except for the weird doors, because, yeah, they're using, like, the alpha build of the doors instead of the final build. It was kind of strange that way, but either way, yeah, it's just such a great looking game, a lot of fun to play, and we'll have to see if we get the other Metroid Prime games remastered later on. Now we have Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so yeah, I love Super Smash Bros. It's cool to have all these characters all in one, plus, you know, new characters, and then the DLC with stuff like Joker and Sora, and yeah, really cool. I don't think I need to say too much about this. It's just Super Smash Bros. Knock each other off the stage, right? And really neat single player mode. Single player mode, though, does go on for way too long, I find, like, you know, but either way, yeah, it's just such a great package for Super Smash Bros. Friends, or fans. We could be friends until we play Super Smash Bros. Against each other, then we're mortal enemies, but yeah. And then we have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, so this is so far the only Kirby game I have on the Switch. I do want to get Return to Dreamland at some point because I never even played the original, right? But yeah, for now this is the only one I have, but it's a fantastic Kirby game, the best one ever made in my opinion. Just, man, it was so cool, so charming, beautiful world, and not sure how I would feel about Kirby going into a realistic looking dystopian world, right? But it works really well, and yeah, it was like so many surprises throughout. I wasn't expecting that you could upgrade all your abilities like this. The ending was amazing. Like, yeah, there's so much to love about it. It's just a fantastic Kirby game. Then we have Yoshi's Crafted World, so kind of like a sequel to Woolly World, I guess, or whatever. But, yeah, you know, it's Yoshi, it's fun, it's charming, right? It's not quite as charming as Woolly World. That one's a bit hard to top, though, you know. I'm not going to knock it too much for that, but yeah, it's just, again, cool. Haven't played too much of it, but the little bits I played, just another fun little platformer. Then we have Cerisa and the Lost Demons, Bayonetta Origins, you know, and yeah, this game was really, really cool. Kind of prequel to Bayonetta, right? And yeah, you're playing as Cerisa trying to find her mom, and yeah, has Cheshire to help her, and yeah, it's a cool kind of puzzle action game. It's just really, really neat. Beautiful world, beautiful colors, and yeah, it's just like playing through a kind of horror-themed fairy tale, right? Without like big horror elements. It's just really neat game. Highly recommend it. And then we have Astral Chain. So yeah, I'm including a few Platinum games here, and Astral Chain, I believe, is still, like, it's a Nintendo exclusive, right? So, yeah, but really cool game, you know. I still have to beat it, but you want to talk about how to do tutorials, this is how to do it. Like, the opening was amazing, and yeah, I do want to play more of it. There's just so many games to get through, man. There's way too many, but yeah, it's a fantastic game. Just a little bit I played. Like, if you love action games, like, I can't see. Yeah, I think I will enjoy the whole thing once I'm able to get through it. Then we have Game Builder Garage. Not going to say too much about this. This is one of these kind of app-like games where you make your own game, right? And the problem with these is always you're limited by the software itself, right? You can't actually make fully the game you want to make, and yeah, I'm not sure how long servers will stay up for, so yeah, not too much to say about that, but it was very cheap. Then we have another Code Recollection, so really neat, you know, I play a little bit of it, and it's a really neat kind of adventure puzzle game, right? It's just, yeah, there. Again, I'm very early on. I was going to save this for, you know, either doing a stream or just playing it later on. It might be a good kind of Christmas game to play, actually, because it has that kind of just cozy, relaxing vibe. It could be nice to just play through the holidays, so we'll see. But let me know if you played through another Code Recollection, what you think of that game. Then we have Emil the Smiling Man. So yeah, recently just got this, so not too much I can say about it. You're just kind of uncovering murder mystery, right? So yeah, again, I can't say too much right now about it, but you know, it seems like a pretty cool visual novel experience, so looking forward to diving more into this one. Then we have Nintendo World Championship, so this is a pretty neat game, I have to say. Like, you know, anyone who was a fan of NES Remix 1 and 2 on Wii U and 3DS, like, it has a bit of that vibe where you're doing little challenges through games and kind of speedrunning them, right? And while it doesn't have the same level of charm as NES Remix or anything, like, it's still a pretty cool experience. It surprised me. I'm not sure how long, like, the, you know, how much it would keep me from coming back over and over again, but for what it was, and getting the special edition with, like, a gold card replica, it's pretty cool. And now with the Nintendo games done, let's look at the many RPGs on the Switch, starting with Dragon Quest XI, the Definitive Edition. So yeah, the Switch was a massive library for RPGs, right? Especially JRPGs, and yeah, really happy to now have a physical of the Definitive Edition of Dragon Quest XI, because I only had the Standard Edition and was able to find this for a nice price, right? So went and picked it up, and you know, gives me an excuse to replay this amazing RPG, right? It's one of the best I've ever played. It is so fun and charming. You are the luminary who has a certain destiny, and you know, when you kind of go and visit the king of Heliodor, well, things turn for the worst, and now everyone's out to get you, and yeah, you're trying to save the world, right? But, you know, amazing characters, great soundtrack. Even if Dragon Quest uses the same soundtrack over and over, it's just a fantastic soundtrack, right? And yeah, there's so much to love about this game. Yeah, it's amazing. And then we have Dragon Quest Monsters the Dark Prince, so still need to play all the way through this one. I played a good, like, few hours of it, and it's really fun. It's, you know, Dragon Quest take on kind of Pokemon-like adventure, right? Where you are the prince, and you're going to visit your dad because your mom is dying, and your dad doesn't want anything to do with you, so you're got kicked aside, and now you're trying to do these Colosseum battles, trying to get fame so that your dad will recognize you and have to talk to you and everything like that. But is really cool, really fun, and yeah, I definitely need to play more of this one. Then we have Dragon Quest Treasures, and I'll say at first I was really enjoying this game as you're playing, you know, side game, playing as a young Eric from Dragon Quest XI with his sister, and yeah, you're basically just hunting treasure, right? But it's really cool at the start because you get to recruit monsters. Each monster has different types of abilities and everything, but the game is very repetitive. Like, I did get bored of it after a while. It's not a terrible game or anything like that. Like, there is fun to be had, I'm sure. Good number of people did have fun, but for me it was like, man, just needed a bit more variety because battles themselves too are fairly dull, right? And yeah, but let me know what you think of Dragon Quest Treasures. Kind of tongue twister for me apparently to say that, but yeah, let me know what you think of that. Then we have Final Fantasy, the Pixel Remastered Collection. So yeah, talk about your bang for a buck type of deal. Gain 6 Final Fantasies, the first 6 Final Fantasies in one package. And while I would like to see like a 2D HD kind of, you know, Octopath type of remaster, right? Like, still getting these games, having these different multipliers to make the game as easy or as hard as you want, just fantastic. And definitely the standouts for me is 1, 4, and 6, with an honorable mention to 5. I still have to play through 3, and then 2 is, yeah, 2 is what you make of it, I guess, but yeah, it's an amazing collection of Final Fantasy games. Then we have Chrono Cross, the Radio Dream, or Radio Dreamer, and yeah, I got this because I remember enjoying Chrono Cross on PS1 back in the day, but I don't really remember anything about it. I remember liking it, but not like I did with Chrono Trigger, right? And I wasn't, you know, one of those people who was bummed out that it wasn't like a direct sequel or had the other characters in the game, you know, previous characters, you know, nothing like that bothered me, but there was just something about it that it's like, it was fun, but it didn't exactly click, right? So I kind of wanted to get this version, see if maybe that would change for me, but yeah, you can let me know what you think of Chrono Cross. Then we have the Mana Collection. So we have 3 games here: Final Fantasy Adventure, Secret of Mana, and Trials of Mana, or Mana, however you want to say it. But yeah, pretty cool collection, and really just wanted this for both the original Trials of Mana because I wanted to kind of experience that version too, along with the very first Mana game, right? Because I never played Final Fantasy Adventure. It is a bit rough because, man, the hit detection not great in the game, but you know, overall, like, pretty solid collection, something you can get for very cheap too. Then we have The World Ends With You Final Remix, and I have to say, unfortunately, this version of the game just isn't that great. And the reason for that is, like, if you play in docked mode, you have to use one Joy-Con. You can't use the Pro Controller or anything, and you're constantly calibrating the thing. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of using the Joy-Con. It's a really cool game, but unfortunately, it feels like because they didn't really do much for controls since it was originally a DS game, that the game, I think, would be better for most people to just play on the DS, right, rather than this version. So yeah, you can let me know what you guys think of it though. Then we have Nier Automata. So yeah, I definitely need to play this because, yeah, keep hearing it's like the greatest action RPG ever, so I definitely need to get around to playing it at some point. And bits and pieces I played, it is really, really fun. Just, I think I get intimidated when games have like so many different endings and different playthroughs you have to do that I'm always like afraid I'm going to screw something up or whatever, right? But yeah, definitely need to get through playing that. Then we have Live Alive, which, yeah, I call it Live Alive. You most people call it like Live Alive, but whichever, right? As yeah, really cool game, gain all these different timelines and eras to play through. It's just, I'm so glad that Square decided to give it this 2D HD remaster treatment, because you know only Japan got this game for the longest time until this one. Hopefully we get Bahamut Lagoon at some point too, but yeah, fantastic game. Then we have Octopath Traveler. So for me, I couldn't get into this game personally, and it's just because it's too grindy for me, right? Like there's so much just having to grind and level up, and just a lot of like dialogue, which, you know, the story and characters I didn't really get that attached to, right? I do want to give this game a second shot at some point because it's a beautiful game. Like, this is the game that started like everyone wanting this style for pretty much every RPG, or anytime you get like an older one remade or whatever, people want it this way, right? Which, yeah, I think I said Live Alive a remaster, but yeah, I meant like a remake. I'll say that quite a bit, so don't worry, I'll screw up quite a few times saying remaster, remake, and all that, but yeah, just, yeah, I'll have to give it a second chance at some point. Then there's Bravely Default 2, so I haven't played through this one too much because I want to play, like, currently I'm playing through Final Fantasy the 4 Heroes of Light, or one of the games I'm playing through, because I want to play that before I get into Bravely Default, since that game is technically like the original Bravely Default. It's the game that became Bravely Default, so yeah, I haven't played too much of this one, but yeah, looking forward to checking out more Bravely Default in the future. And then Triangle Strategy, so another one I haven't dove into too much, but definitely plan to. Just, I have to be in the mood for strategy RPGs, no matter what kind it is, or strategy games in general, right? But I will say I played like the first 3 or so hours of the game, and it's very slow paced at the start. Like, you get one kind of big tutorial battle at the beginning, and then after that it's like, it's a bit of a slog, so yeah, I'll have to definitely check it out at some point again, because yeah, I hear nothing but amazing things about it. Then we have Pretty Percent Volume 2, which yeah, I don't have Volume 1 as of yet anyways, but Volume 2 includes Makai Kingdom and ZHP. So, haven't played too much of Makai, played quite a bit of ZHP, which that one is hilarious. Very funny game, though. From what I hear, a lot of people ran into a lot of glitches with these Pretty Percent games on the Switch. I personally haven't yet, but yeah, you never know. So, something to be aware of for those out there, right? But, you know, pretty cool collection. Then we have Pretty Percent Volume 3, so this includes La Persol and Rhapsody. So, really enjoy Rhapsody Musical Adventure, you know, not like a super in-depth game or anything, but it's just a nice, cozy, relaxing game for me. And La Persol, like, you know, solid, kinda tactical, turn-based RPG, right? So, yeah, another kind of solid 2 games here, and it's just fun to have these with the art books and soundtracks, right? Next, we have The Cruel King and the Great Hero. So, haven't played this one too much yet, but it is a really visually appealing game. Like, I love the art style of this. It's just really cool. I love the storybook edition, you know, having the plushie and art book. It's really neat, and yeah, solid combat. I do plan on playing this soon, so yeah, look forward to my thoughts on that later on. Next, we have Crystar or Crystar, and this one I did have digitally on PS4, so that's the version you're seeing right now, and this is a pretty cool game. Not like the greatest RPG, you know, combat's a bit dull, there's not much to it, it's very basic, but it has a really cool story. It's one of those kind of hidden gem RPGs, right? Like, just a very intriguing story where you're trying to save your sister and you make a deal with these demon twins, right? And yeah, you're fighting the souls of the, in this purgatory, right? And it's just a very emotional game, and yeah, something that I think a lot of people would really enjoy. So check out Crystar or Crystar or something like that. Then we have Langrisser 1 and 2 HD remaster, and yeah, your tactical kind of RPGs, right? Where took me a while to get used to this, because how this works is, I thought it was going to be something like Fire Emblem where you're just going, doing type advantages, right? Of just, okay, just look at the rock, paper, scissors, but it's a bit more than that, because you're creating squads, and once you defeat the main enemy of the squads, the whole squad collapses. So yeah, it took me a little while to get used to that, but the little bit I played, it's a really cool, just tactical RPG, and yeah, looking forward to checking out more of Langrisser, which yeah, I only started with the first game so far, so yeah, that's what you're seeing, but yeah, really cool. Then we have Ys 8 Lacrimosa Donna. So this is one of my favorite games ever. Yes, I already played this and beat it multiple times on like PS4, PS5, but I love it so much that when Video Games Plus had a reprint, I wanted to get this because, man, I just love this game so much, and plays pretty well on the Switch. There's definitely like some performance things here and there and some texture issues, but overall it's just still such a fantastic game and great one to have, especially on the Switch, playing it on the go and everything like that, because Ys 8, any of the Ys games are really great to pick up and play, but Ys 8 I feel like is one of the best ones at that, and yeah, just really cool experience. I love Ys 8 so much. Then we have Ys Origin. So this one was really cool because I got this through a contest through Twitter, so yeah, want to thank again Retro Martin and Do You Nerd for tagging me in that, because yeah, otherwise I probably wouldn't even known about it, but so cool to have. And yeah, Ys Origin, it takes place something like 500 years before adult Kristen and everything like that, and kind of telling the story of the Book of Ys. And yeah, you got multiple playthroughs. It's a very cool game, one of my favorite in the Ys series, like probably my third favorite behind 8 to 9. It's just a really great experience, and yeah, one that I think a lot of people would really enjoy. Then there's Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. So glad this got another release on the Switch, because this is such a hidden gem. It is a fantastic RPG, one of the most overlooked ones, right? As it's the best way a lot of people describe it is like Falcom's take on Persona, right? Because you have a high school setting, you're going into a different world, you have social bonds, right? But there's so much more to that. It's kind of like combining Persona with their Trails series along with Ys gameplay, right? It's just a really fantastic experience as you're going through these eclipses that are built through heavy human emotion, right? And yeah, it's just I love this game so much. I'm so excited that there's going to be another Tokyo Xanadu coming, I think next year or something like that. So yeah, that'll be really cool to play. Then we have Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD remasters. So yeah, this one I wish they kept the English voices. I know, especially for the first game on GameCube, like, wasn't the greatest or anything, but is too bad, especially because they have these opening cutscenes that are all in English, so it's kind of weird that they don't have that, but It is a really cool kind of card RPG. I still haven't played all the way through, and I'm kind of debating still if I want to play the GameCube one or this remaster, because I want the English voices, but I also want the quality of life improvements, so yeah, I'll have to see. There's a lot of games to still play through, but yeah, it's just still cool to have anyways, and yeah, I'll have to decide. I mean, there's a lot on my backlog to still get through, so we'll see. Then there's Digimon Cyber Sleuth Collection, so this one I still haven't really played that much through because they are fun games, like, you know, they're fun turn-based RPGs, but they're so long, they're like 100 hours long, and yeah, just definitely not ready to tackle that, but I love Digimon, you know. Like, as much as I love Pokemon, I also love Digimon, right? And it's just, there's just a bit too much right now. Eventually I will get through it, but yeah, for now it's still on the backlog just because it's quite the task to get through both of these games. Then there's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I might be Canadian, but of course I have to say Dragon Ball Z because Dragon Ball Z, that sounds weird. But yeah, you know, really awesome game. I still have to play all the way through, but the parts I played, it's just, yeah, fantastic animation. I love Dragon Ball, and it plays really well on the Switch. I was surprised by how well it plays on there, especially being this open world, right? Like, Switch games can kind of be hit or miss with that, but yeah, this game plays surprisingly well. Same with like Nier Automata, I found that too was like, wow, it played way better than I expected. But yeah, cool, and you know, eventually I will play through it because everyone loves this game, and even the parts I played were really fun. So yeah, looking forward to playing more of that later on. We have Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch, so yeah, this is just, I think, the PS3 port. It's not like the remaster or anything, but you still get like all the content and everything. And oh man, Ni no Kuni, I love it so much. Like, it's, you know, having Studio Ghibli be part of this and the music, and yeah, it's just so great. And yeah, I love kind of Pokemon-like gameplay of capturing these familiars and having them fight with you and things like that. So yeah, it's just a fantastic game that I still love to this day. And then Ni no Kuni 2, so I really enjoyed this one too. I know it gets a lot of flack from a lot of people, but for me, I still really enjoy it. It's pretty cool, right? As you know, because I do like the gameplay a bit more in this one than Ni no Kuni, though I don't like the whole, you get these forced kind of real-time strategy elements in there. I don't like that part, but, you know, and story-wise, yeah, it's not the greatest, but it's still a fun game for me. And it plays really well on the Switch. That was another one I was surprised by, but yeah, Ni no Kuni 2 is, to me, a very solid game. Not as good as the first game, but I still enjoyed it. And now we move on to Persona, starting with Persona 3 Portable. So, yeah, you know, solid kind of port to these games, right? Though these ones, you know, from the PSP version is more done in a visual novel style, though the cool part about this is you get to have either a male or female protagonist, right? And yeah, it's too bad that the remake didn't have any of that, you know, but it is what it is, and, you know, solid game, but yeah, not my favorite just because of the visual novel style, and Persona games have always been like that, but, you know, later on they got a lot more flair with their games and cutscenes and things like that, right? So, yeah, but it's still a pretty solid one to have, you know, different difficulty options and things like that, so makes it kind of easy to play. Then we have Persona 5 Royal. So I did order Persona 4 Golden, just so you know, on the Switch, but I ordered the Midnight Channel version, still hasn't come in yet. But yeah, Persona 5 Royal with the one more edition, as fantastic game. I love this game so much. Like, there's not enough I can say about it. It's just amazing. And the Royal version, just really great, adding, you know, Dr. Mariku and Yoshizaru, right? Like, it's just really great characters, and everything is just amazing with this game. Then we have Persona 5 Strikers. So this one I did play on PS4, so that's the version you're seeing, because I imagine with Persona 5 Strikers, like, there's probably going to be performance issues, since this is a Dynasty Warriors type of game, you know, kind of that crossover, right? But really awesome game, because, well, it has, like, you know, that element of defeating like hundreds of enemies at once. A lot of it is a lot more Persona-like than Dynasty Warriors, right? It's just really cool. It acts like a sequel to Persona 5, which I think is just awesome, and yeah, just a lot of fun. I really love it. It's such a cool spin-off game. Then there's Persona 5 Tactica. So this one I still have to play through, but it's pretty cool, you know. Everyone's a chibi style this time, and again has that XCOM type of combat, right? And yeah, really solid game, you know, and one that usually goes on sale quite a bit, so one for people to check out. But yeah, again, I'm still pretty early on, so not much I can say about this one so far. Then we have Shin Megami Tensei 3. So again, I have the PS4 version, so that's the version you're seeing right now. Still have this sealed up, as I do like collecting for, you know, multiple games on different systems, especially if I like them, right? And if they're cheap enough too, it's just fun. And the Switch, I love collecting for it, so don't mind having multiple versions of these games. But yeah, the Shin Megami Tensei games, like, I still have to finish this one. I got quite far in it, the low, you know, later on playing it, but yeah, still kind of playing through, as the Shin Megami games are always like this post-apocalyptic kind of setting, right? And battle between angels and demons, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool, and glad we're getting a lot of these kind of older titles getting remastered or remade or whatever. It's just nice to see, right? And then yeah, Shin Megami Tensei 5. So this one I did drop, mainly because now we have Vengeance, which I got on PS5. So yeah, not much to say with this one so far. I did find the story to be quite dull, so I'm interested to see if, you know, the updated version will change my mind of that at all. So yeah, we'll have to see. Then we have Atelier Marie Remake. So yeah, the first Atelier game made, and yeah, really cool to get this. Again, everything's kind of this chibi style, as yeah, you're playing as Marie, who's a very clumsy alchemist and has to kind of complete her assignments to pass her class, right? And yeah, it's just so far pretty cool. I don't think it's an overly long game. I think a lot of people say it's around 10 hours long, so I think it'll be a good one to maybe pick up and play through December. Just a nice cozy game to play through, so yeah, cool to have. Then there's Atelier, the Dusk Trilogy Collection. So yeah, really cool to have this one. Everything's all on one cartridge, as you get Atelier Aisha, Eski and Logi, and then Shally, and yeah, really great package. Now, I did play and beat Eska and Logi, and yeah, Shally, but I never played through Lisa or I can't remember her name now, but it's the first game in the Dusk Trilogy, because that one I did find kind of boring. I have started it now because what's nice with the Switch version, or this version anyways, is that you do have like speed up modes for battles, which is nice because I remember combat being very dull in this one. So yeah, we'll have to see how I think, because I do want to play the first game of a lot of these Atelier games before Yumiya comes out next year. So yeah, looking forward to checking out more of that later on. Then we have Tunic. So yeah, this is a pretty cool indie title that's like Zelda meets Dark Souls, because it's a very tough game. I'm still playing through it, but yeah, very charming. I love the look of this, and you know, I think it was originally like an Xbox exclusive or something like that before coming to Switch, and it's another one of those games like Cuphead that just feels way more at home on the Switch than Xbox, if I'm honest. But yeah, still cool to have, and hopefully I can beat it at some point. Then we have Omari. So this one is very dark. Like, know what you're getting into with this one, because yeah, it can be very tough to play through, as deals with a lot of mental health issues. You're attacking enemies through emotion, right? And yeah, it's definitely one where I'm still playing through it. It's very interesting, very cool, but yeah, just something that, you know, is Earthbound-like type of game. And you know, as long as you're okay with heavy subject matter of, you know, this sort of stuff, then, you know, play it, because so far it's pretty cool. Next we have Eastwards, which I need to play more of this, because man, this game is so much fun, having a Zelda type adventure kind game where everyone's living underground. You're told, like, don't go to the surface is not for you type of thing, which of course is going to make you curious, especially Sam, right? And yeah, just a really cool game, and yeah, it's awesome to see games like this, because again, it's just one of those cozy games I found. It's just cool, and yeah, I definitely need to play more of it. Next we have Sea of Stars. So I will say I did enjoy this game, but I didn't love it. I originally played this on PS4, PS5, but did want to get it physical and got it for Switch, and you know, and I think the big thing for me is it's like it tried too hard to be a bunch of these other ones, like, you know, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, and things like that, rather than trying to stand out on its own. Like, it poked fun at a lot of the cliches in RPGs and things like that. So I think that's where, like, story-wise, it didn't, like, stand out completely to me. Pixel-wise, like, the pixel art is amazing in this game. It's such a beautiful game, but I found myself after around, like, 10 hours or so being, like, a bit tired out of the game, right? So let me know what you think of Sea of Stars. I still think it's a good game, just not fantastic to me anyways. Then we have Monster Hunter Stories 2. So this is a cool kind, you know, Capcom's take with the Monster Hunter games, with having, yeah, this Pokemon-like gameplay, right? It's pretty cool. Again, I'm still pretty early on. I had this game for a long time, and I still haven't played through it. Again, the endless life of the backlog, right? So yeah, let me know what you all think of Monster Hunter Stories 2, but the bits I played is pretty fun. Then we have Grandia Remastered 1 and 2, so yeah, this one I haven't played too much yet, because I do plan on playing it sometime next year, you know, hopefully before Lunar comes out and things like that, right? So yeah, not too much to say about this, just I know a lot of people love the Grandia games, especially Grandia 2, so looking forward to playing both of these at some point. Then we have the Cosmic Fantasy Collection. So these are old school style games, right? Like, only a select niche audience would enjoy this, and I'm part of that, so yeah, it's very rough to play. Like, there's a lot of translation issues and, you know, kind of rough gameplay, but that was pretty cool to have. I do wish I just got the regular edition because the special edition didn't come with as much as I was hoping for, especially with how big kind of the package is, because I love like the, you know, big box VHS kind of style and everything, but it's just a lot of the stuff you get with it. I probably didn't really need. Definitely that FOMO did set in a little bit on that one, but it's still cool to have and looking forward to checking out more of this. I definitely have to be in the right mood for it though. Then we have Bug Fables, so this is a pretty cool kind, you know, take on Paper Mario, right? Like, you know, pretty neat little game, and yeah, not too bad. Like, not the best or anything, but it's a pretty fun game and one that I highly recommend for others to check out. Is a pretty neat little indie game. Then we have Shadowverse, which, man, I wish I was good at this game. I really do, because I want to beat this so bad. It is so fun, like, because it is a trading card game, but it's set up like an RPG. You're doing quests, you're, you know, leveling up your card battle skills and everything like that, but the thing is with these games is there's no difficulty option, and man, can it get cheap, because so much of the game relies on luck, and that kind of sucks because, yeah, there's a lot of matches I've had where, you know, opponents would just, opponent could be down to like one hit away, and they would always draw the card to prevent me from beating them. Like, only once did I play this that I had that happen to me, where I was in a tournament, and yeah, I think it was the Bronze Cup, and yeah, I kept drawing the perfect card to prevent the opponent from winning, and I eventually won. But yeah, it's just one of those ones that unfortunately has a bit of balance issues, but is a really cool game. I hope I can beat it at some point. It's just, oh man, I want to beat it. Next, we have Silent Hope, which I need to play more of this because, man, is this game fun and addictive. You get all these different classes, and it's this kind of Diablo-like game, right, where there's just a lot of enemies to hack and slash through, collectibles to get, and yeah, it's just such a fun game. Like, there's not much for story or anything, but it's just pure fun. It's just really cool, and yeah, I definitely need to play more of this because, yeah, the little bit I played, it's like, man, it was hard to put down, and yeah, again, tried to get through a few other games and tried to do better with my backlog on that, but yeah, just really, really awesome. Next, we have Fate Extella Link. So this one I haven't played too much of because I still have to play the Umbrella Star or something like that I have on PS4, as I believe this is like a sequel to that one. So yeah, not much to say, but has that Dynasty Warriors combat gameplay, so I automatically love it. Like, I'm not very picky with these types of games. I just really enjoy them and things like that, right? So yeah, you know, looking forward to eventually playing through that. Then we have Sky Ocean. So this one, unfortunately, I can't recommend. It has a lot of visual issues, glitches with it, and among other issues. Like, they did patch it, which did improve it a lot, but there's still a lot of those visual issues on the Switch, and it's too bad because, you know, story-wise, it seems pretty interesting and everything, as, you know, this was kind of set up to try and be bit of a spiritual successor to Skies of Arcadia. Now, not, you know, a lot of the times I kind of you know, look back and it's like, okay, Skies of Arcadia had like hundreds of people working on it, where Sky Ocean might have like 20 or something, right? And so I always keep that in mind, that, you know, it's most likely not going to fill that void or anything, but it still could be a solid game. But yeah, with those visual glitches, it's just a bit too much, and yeah, sadly I can't recommend it. Next we have Hero School Story 2. So this is a neat concept where you're running basically an RPG school. You're training fellow students to level up and everything, going out to fight battles and things like that. But thing is, you can tell it's a lower budget game because, yeah, there's a bit of boring. Oh, like, it is a pretty boring game, I have to say. I do want to play more of it just to see if there's a bit more content with it, right? But a little bit I played, sadly, it's probably not going to be among my favorite games to play. Next, we have Undernaught. So this is a dungeon crawling RPG, and yeah, it's pretty cool. You get to create a lot of different characters and classes for them. That's one of the things I always liked about dungeon crawlers, is the trial and error type of experimentation. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but yeah, I still quite enjoy these games. I do have to be in the right mood for them, but they are pretty fun for me to play through, and Undernaughts might be one for you to look at, as I find it pretty solid. Then we have Kowloon High School Chronicle, and yeah, this is a very strange one. It was a remaster of a Japanese only game on the PS2, I believe, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like Indiana Jones, but with high school students as you're going through dungeons. Again, there's dungeon crawling, but you're also solving puzzles through the dungeons, and yeah, it's a pretty unique, different type of game, and yeah, one that I think is a bit of a hidden gem. It's pretty cool. It even uses the Indiana Jones font on a lot of the text, right? Like, for certain areas, it's pretty neat that way, and yeah, I quite enjoy my time with Kowloon High School. It's, yeah, pretty unique. Then we have RE0. So this one I have like digitally on PS4, so that's the version you're seeing right now, and this one is very visual novel heavy. I'm still kind of playing through it, where I guess you do get like a tactical RPG style, but I still haven't come across it. I played for probably a good like 1 or 2 hours of it, and yeah, still haven't gone to any combat yet. It is a lot of like just talking now. I do like RE0. It's a pretty fun little anime and everything, but yeah, it was cool to just get this, and yeah, I'll have to see how the rest of the game is, because right now it's just, yeah, a ton of talking. Then we have Akiba's Trip Undead and Undressed, like, special edition or whatever it is, as, yeah, for this game, well, you know, you're fighting vampires, and how do you defeat vampires? Ripping off their clothes, of course. So yeah, this is definitely not going to be for everybody, but I have to say, this is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. I quite enjoy this game. The combat is pretty fun and solid. It's silly, and I like that sort of stuff. I do wish I could get the other Akiba game or whatever that's on the Switch, but I know that one's a lot harder to come by and pretty expensive, so probably not going to get it for a long while, but it's still just cool to have this version, because I originally played this on, like, I think my Vita, and yeah, it's just, again, not going to be for everybody because of the context of it, but yeah, it's definitely a bit of a guilty pleasure game for me. Then we have Lost Epic. So got the special edition here, as this is a pretty cool, you know, little kind of Metroidvania meets Souls-Light, and I say Souls-Light because it's not like super difficult or anything, at least the little bits I played so far. I have to play more through it, but it's pretty cool, you know, not the most outstanding game or anything, but I would say it's one of those solid kind of 7 out of 10 type of games, right? It's just pretty fun, and yeah, I'm glad I was able to snag this little copy off eBay for a pretty nice price, and yeah, it's a pretty cool little collector's item. And then we have Yokai Watch 1, the remake on Switch. Sadly, this is Japanese only, as I wish we would get these Yokai Watch games over here in English and everything, because man, I love this series and love this game because I played the first game on the 3DS so much that it's so easy for me to play through this one, right? Like, you know, even though I can't read Japanese, it's like, I know where to go, I know what to do, I know all this, and yeah, it's a basically one-to-one remake, right? Just updated visuals, right? But yeah, really cool to still have, and yeah, I love Yokai Watch, so yeah, even if I have to get Japanese versions of these, I will. Now we move on to visual novels, so have quite a few here, starting with Master Detective Archives Raincoat, so really enjoyed this game, right? As yeah, I talked about this game numerous times on my channel. It's very weird, and yeah, I mean, it's by Chunsoft, right? Like, you kind of know what to expect with these kind of games, as playing as Detective Yuma Cocohead, or Yuma, yeah, Yuma. Jeez, my brain is all over the place today, but yeah, as of course he has amnesia, and, you know, is followed by this, you know, Death God Shimigami, and they're solving crimes, and yeah, just very weird, cool experience, and one that I really enjoyed. Then I guess I have to talk about Danganronpa here, as we got Danganronpa Decadence or something like that, but yeah, really cool package here. You get 4 games in one, all on the cartridge, so that's really awesome to see, as yeah, for this game it's yeah, just a neat experience. Like, you know, these games take place in a high school and things happen. We'll just leave it at that, because even though these games are old, it's well worth going in as blind as possible with these ones, right? It's just cool package all around. Next we have the dual pack of Chaos Head Noah and Chaos Child, so visual novel experiences, part of the science adventure pack. As you can tell from the semicolon, the science adventure games will always have like a semicolon in between the words, right? As yeah, and science adventure because they all have kind of sci-fi related elements. Now, only played a bit the first one here, but it's very intriguing. Like, it messes with perception a lot, so yeah, it's just again, I don't want to give away too much, because a lot of these visual novel ones are really great to play kind of blind, you know, blind playthroughs, right? So don't want to say too much, but it's very intriguing, and yeah, messes with your head a lot, so looking forward to playing more of this and checking it out and beating it soon, hopefully. Then we have the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles or something like that, but yeah, these, you know, I'm not too far into this, not really playing it too much, because I still have to get through the whole Phoenix Wright trilogy games. I played and beat the first one, and then got a bit through the second one, so yeah, still need to play through that. So yeah, I'm not going to say too much of these, because yeah, I don't want to play too much and kind of, you know, like, these ones take place in like, yeah, old different era and all that, so I don't think there'd be spoilers, but still, it's like, I'll wait until just beat one Phoenix Wright thing at a time and then move on to the next one. So yeah, we also have Apollo Justice trilogy. So again, yeah, I'm not really playing through these because I believe these ones take place after Phoenix Wright and everything. So yeah, didn't play too much of this again. Just want to kind of, you know, get through a few other ones, and then it's the same with the Edgeworth investigation games here that we have, where yeah, it's pretty neat. It's cool to have these, as these ones were originally on the DS, or at least the first one was. I'm not sure about the second game, so pretty cool and different kind of perspective, right? It's still a visual novel experience, but now you're kind of moving around to look at clues and things like that, so seems like it's going to be pretty neat. But yeah, just kind of holding off for now on a lot of these. And now we move on to the farming sim games, starting with Rune Factory 4 Special Edition. So I love this game. This is such a fun experience. Graphically, yeah, nothing to write home about. It's a port or remaster of 3DS game, right? I do want to get Rune Factory 3 at some point too, and the new one that's coming out next year. That should be a lot of fun. Just a really fun game. Get to play as either boy or girl, right? And it's just super fun, relaxing stuff that I do enjoy with farming sim type games. Then we have Rune Factory 5, and so on the Switch, now I haven't played too much of this one yet, but you know, for the Switch, I know when it first came out there were major performance issues, and playing it now, there's still a lot of performance issues. There's a lot of frame rate stuff and things like that, but I have to say, the bit I played was kind of fun. That does not excuse games for being in this type of state, though. Want to make that clear. Just for me personally, I thought it was pretty solid, fun experience. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying out more. But if you want this game and want a more polished experience, you're probably better off buying it on Steam or something. Then we have Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. So played this on PS4 because on that through PS Plus you also get the season pass, so I'm like, sure, I'll play it there. And yeah, it's a standard, very you know, farming sim, right? You know, Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons now, right? You know, but yeah, there's nothing much to write home about. It's more like, if you like these types of games, then you know, you would probably enjoy this one, as yeah, it's just fun, charming, colorful. Again, graphically, nothing to write home about, but not why I really play these games. These are just fun, cozy games for me. And next up is Harvestella. So everyone who's played this has praised this to death. I know I have to get around to playing and beating this game. The bits I played is a fun game. I decided to make my character female though, because there's not a whole lot of options they put out here for this game, right? Like, a lot of the options, you know, are very basic, and your character looks very feminine, so I'm like, sure, we'll just be a girl for this one, right? But little bits I played, you know, pretty fun, as yeah, that combination of role-playing and farming sim, right? So looking forward to trying out more, because yeah, people just love this game so much, so I know I have to give it a go at some point. Then we have Potion Pyramid Complete Edition. So this is a pretty fun one. Again, I'm not super far into it right now, but you know, I originally got this on PS5, and then yeah, they had the Complete Edition, so I'm like, sure, I'll get it again on Switch. You know, I enjoyed enough of it that it's not super expensive or anything. I'll try again, and yeah, again, I need to play more, because the bits I played, it's like pretty cool. You get to do this alchemy stuff where it's like a puzzle. You have to put all your ingredients in the right order and trying to mix and mash everything. It's pretty addictive, I have to say. So yeah, looking forward to trying out more of that. And then we have Guitaria Fables, which I played on PS5, so that's the version you're seeing. Got this game free from Video Games Plus for buying certain games, but this is a hidden gem. Like, if you like farming sims and RPGs, this is a really cool one to play. Very cute, very charming. It is a bit grindy. That's one knock I would say, is like you do have to grind quite a bit in the game, but if you stick with it, it's a really fun game, you know, and really love seeing these indie games kind of make games like this, right? It's a really cool one, and yeah, highly recommend Guitaria Fables. It's yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then our final one is Ooblets. So this is kind of Pokemon-like farming sim game where you're collecting these little monster creatures called Ooblets, and yeah, they're helping you with the farm. Not super far into this, you know, but it just seemed like a neat little game, you know, kind of blind buy for me, and little bits I played, yeah, not too bad. Again, I have to be in the right mood for this one, I would say, but you know, little bits I played, seems kind of cute and fun, charming, right? So looking forward to trying out more of it later on. And now we have everything else. These are games where I didn't feel like there was a category to put these in, or I didn't have enough games to put them in their own category. So we have Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania, so I played the PS5 version of this, so that's the footage you're seeing. Again, got this very cheap, as, like I said, I don't mind re-owning a lot of these games if I can find them very cheap. So yeah, still sealed, but I suck at this game. It's a remaster of Super Monkey Ball 1 and 2, and yeah, it's quite challenging, especially once you get later on into like World 5 or so. It's just like, man, it gets very, very difficult, and not very good at these. Plus, I can't play for too long. I do have motion sickness, so yeah, I can't really play for probably more than like an hour or so, but still is a fun game, fun experience, and I don't know how the monkeys don't get motion sickness. Sometimes life isn't fair. Then we have Dual Pack of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD along with Sonic Forces. So with Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, this is a remaster of Wii title, and it's not that great. It's an okay experience, but you know, it's much easier than the other Monkey Ball games, but you know, you also get boss battles, but I just found like nothing stood out with this game compared to other Monkey Ball titles, right? And you know, but you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below about it. One thing I will say though is, like, for bosses, it can get kind of annoying sometimes because bosses will like fling you off the stage when you hit them, and yeah, some of the physics are a bit rough, I found. So yeah, but again, you guys can let me know what you guys think of that one. Then with Sonic Forces, yeah, this was a miss. This came out the same year as Sonic Mania, and yeah, one's much better than the other. As this one, it just felt like Sega didn't really know the direction they wanted to go with this one, right? It just, a lot of it felt kind of off and everything, and you know, doing the time travel thing yet again, it just, a lot of things didn't click. You get to make your own Sonic character, which is neat, but it doesn't really add anything to the gameplay. You use the Wisp powers from Sonic Colors for any character creations, right? And yeah, there's just not much. It's not a terrible game, but it's a very short, forgettable one, I would say. Then we have Catherine Full Body. So this is footage you're seeing is the PS4 version. That's where I originally got it, but I love this game so much that, again, very cheap, and you know, so I don't mind owning this again, eventually playing on the Switch again, right? Because it's just, it's such a cool game, you know, it's very weird, right? You're playing as Vincent Brooks, who's, you know, cheated on his girlfriend, right? Cheated on his girlfriend, Catherine with a K, with a girl named Catherine with a C, and this full body one, you know, like Atlas always does, is kind of updated version where you have a new character Rin as well, and yeah, very unique puzzle game where you're escaping these nightmares by building staircases to the top and yeah, escaping your dream, because if you die in your dream, then you die in real life, and yeah, just very unique, cool experience, highly recommend it. Then we have Disney's Epic Mickey Rebrush, so yeah, really enjoy this game, and yeah, I put it aside for now just because there's other games I want to get through, but it's really, really fun. It's a really cool remake, right? Again, I do wish we got the other Epic Mickeys in one package too. That would have been really, really cool, but hey, you know, this is pretty neat as well. Now, there's some frame rate issues here and there I found on the Switch, but nothing that bad or anything. It plays pretty well on the Switch, but just so people know, you might want to get like the different console version, right? Then there's Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. Not sure what exactly makes this definitive, but anyways, talk about one of the most underappreciated platformers of all time. This game is incredible. If you haven't played it, go out, buy this game. It's very cheap. It's on like every single platform, and every time it gets released, it just goes under the radar. Now, part of that I want to say is because originally this was a Wii U exclusive, and so you know, there wasn't much of an audience there, and so once the ports came to other consoles, people just weren't that interested at the time, right? But it's just so cool. You got these musical levels too. They're really, really fun, and yeah, I love Rayman Legends so much. It's one of my favorite platformers ever. Next, we have The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. So this is like part of the previous one that was an RPG, the Cruel King and Great Hero, you know, but it's a completely different type of game. This time you're guiding a prince, and you're in love with the prince, but you're actually a demon, but the prince is blind, so you're hiding your identity from the prince. It's pretty funny, and yeah, you're guiding the prince through these levels. It's kind of puzzle adventure with some combat here and there. It is a slight bit frustrating though, because the prince does not like to listen to you a whole lot, so it can be a bit annoying at times, but overall it's a pretty solid experience, and yeah, another very unique one that people may want to check out. Then we have Shantae Half Genie Hero, which I wish I had more Shantae games. I have a bunch of them digitally on Steam, but I wish I had more physically. But yeah, if you don't buy them right away, they're kind of hard to come by and expensive when you do come by them, right? But yeah, all of these games are just super fun. Like, I don't know if there's any Shantae games out there that I didn't really enjoy. You know, like, they're just super fun action platformers, right? And yeah, you also have great character designs and everything like that. It's just, yeah, all these games are super fun. Then there's Cuphead. This is a brutal game, super fun. I'm not sure I'll ever beat it, but it's incredible, right? Like, having that rubber hose animation and the old style of like your 1920s type of cartoons and everything like that. It's really neat, but yeah, it's very difficult because yeah, you know, it's pretty much just a boss rush with some minor levels here and there where you're going through an actual level, but yeah, for the most part, it's just like fight this boss, fight that boss, but it is a lot of fun. I hope I can beat it one day, but yeah, not holding out hope for that, as why did Cuphead and Mugman have to make a deal with the devil? This is what I get, isn't it, man? Then we have Neon White, so I played this on Game Pass on my Xbox, so that's the version you're seeing. Super fun game, very fast paced now. I'm guessing on the Switch the frame rate's probably either 30 or 60 frames a second. I'm pretty sure on the Xbox it's like 120, right? So again, just letting people know because performance will be completely different, right? But man, what a fun game. It's very addictive, you know, as yeah, you're just going through these levels, beating them as fast as you can, and yeah, really fun platforming, like speedrun platforming, and yeah, it's just such a cool game. Highly recommend Neon White, which yeah, it's it's a bit bittersweet because I know the company that like publishes it and everything, I forget their name, but they're like on strike or something like that. I forget the whole situation. It's kind of ugly right now, which is yeah, bit too bad, but yeah, either way though, Neon White is such a fun game. Then we have the Ori collection, which has Ori and the Blind Forest along with Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which yeah, I still have to play through these games, I know, which they're super fun. Just I do have to be in the mood for Metroidvania type games. It's, you know, obviously the big thing people praise about these games is the graphics, for good reason. It's a beautiful game, beautiful soundtrack, everything like that, but yeah, it is a bit tough too, so yeah, I do want to sit down and play through it at some point. Just again, that backlog is pretty high, but yeah, it's cool to have this collection. And again, it's one of those games that was exclusive to Xbox but feels just right and on the Switch, just like with Cuphead and things like that. And then we have No More Heroes, so yeah, super wacky, weird, funny kind of game and all that. Suda51, they know how to make the weirdest, most unique type of games, playing as Travis Touchdown, who is now an assassin, defeating other assassins to become #1 assassin. As yeah, very silly with crude humor and things like that. And yeah, originally I beat this on the Wii, but really liked it, so wanted to get the Switch versions of these, and yeah, just super fun, and yeah, I love Suda51 games. So now we have No More Heroes 2, so yeah, pretty much more of the same, you know, not much else to say about this. I haven't played through this one yet, so yeah, probably do a playthrough at some point soon. We'll see. Again, yeah, so much on that backlog, man, but yeah, you know, fun game, and like just a little bit I played, seems like they improved on the combat quite a bit, so yeah, looking forward to more Travis Touchdown experience. Then we have Daemon X Machina, so this is a mech kind of robot fighter type of game, something like Armored Core and things like that. A little bit I played, pretty fun, you know, super early on. I have the PAL version because I just saw that one cheaper than the regular version, right? But yeah, you know, solid enough game. Like, again, I'm too early on to really say one way or the other, but the little bit I played, I had fun with it. Then we have Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle, so I originally played this on my PS4 and everything like that, so that's the footage you're seeing. So on the Switch, I imagine, yeah, probably a bit more performance things here and there, but man, is this game fun. Like, if you love Attack on Titan, this is the game to buy. It covers the first 3 seasons of the anime, and yeah, it's really cool. It does change the story slightly, not really much. It's just more like, instead of like, say, playing as the main character of Eren Yeager, you're creating your own character to fight the Titans and all that, but other than that, it follows the story completely the same, right, as yeah, really cool experience. It is very repetitive, so it's one of those that you would have to play in little spurts, but either way, yeah, it's just a really great game. Then we have Starlink, so this was Ubisoft's attempt at doing kind of the Toys to Life genre when it died, right? As, yeah, I do have the full box, but it's in storage, and I wasn't going to take through everything just to get the box for this, but I do have it. As the game itself, pretty fun, and of course the Switch version, you get Fox McCloud, so that's pretty cool, and yeah, I think it's been kind of overlooked by a lot of people, so yeah, I would say, you know, check it out, it's pretty fun. Then we have Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, so talked about this in a video pretty recently too, as yeah, just Fatal Frame game's pretty fun, as yeah, it's one of those, you know, horror experiences that's kind of light on the horror. It's not going to be like super bloody or gory or anything like that. It's just creepy, fun little horror game, right? So yeah, I highly recommend a lot of these Fatal Frame games. You know, I think I pretty much like all of them. Then we have Atari 50, so this is a pretty cool collection here where it tells the history of Atari. You have all these different interviews, you get a bunch of games, and for me, yeah, I more got it just because I appreciate the history of Atari. You know, I didn't grow up with it or anything like that, but I do appreciate what Atari has done over the years, right? And so it's just a cool just museum type of game, right? It's just fun to watch the interviews and, you know, see the history, right? I really enjoy that. Next we have Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. So yeah, I got this in one of the mystery boxes I subscribed to way back when I first started my channel, right? And pretty cool game. Like, you know, one of my favorite Need for Speed games for sure, as yeah, and the remaster plays pretty well on the Switch, so yeah, pretty cool. And this one was made by the Burnout team, which I think most of the Need for Speed games are now, but yeah, I really like Hot Pursuit, so yeah, pretty cool to have on the Switch. You do have to download bits, you know, but other than that, it's pretty cool. Then we have One Step from Eden, so I originally played this on PC, so that's the version you're seeing right now, and yeah, pretty fun. It's like if Slay the Spire met with Mega Man Battle Network, right? Because you have the Mega Man Battle Network type of combat, but kind of that roguelite system of Slay the Spire where you're trying to get from the beginning to the end, right? You know, and with these roguelites, it's always kind of tricky because obviously it's not going to have like the same staying power as a lot of other games, but this experience is still a pretty cool one, nice to play in little sessions here and there. Then we have Dokapon Kingdom. I'm so glad that this got an updated release and everything because this is a cool party game. It's, you know, if you love the party games where everyone hates each other by the end, then hey, this is for you. It's just, yeah, a lot of fun, kind of combining Monopoly with, you know, the Fortune Street games, and yeah, just this whole RPG board game element, right, where you're fighting monsters, but you're also trying to control properties and land and items, and yeah, trying to get as rich as possible. It's really fun, highly recommend if you know a lot of people to play with, for sure. Then we have Mutant Mud's kind of collection here, so we have 3 games in one, which really like this, as Mutant Mud's was originally on the 3DS, and I think it was one of the first games to do 3D, or use the 3DS, where you had going back and forth between foreground and background, right, using the 3D effect, which was really cool. And it's nice to have 3 games in one. You have the base game, you have a very difficult extra version of the game, you know, New Adventure, which, yeah, I don't think I'll ever beat that, and then kind of puzzle game, right? So, you know, pretty solid collection, very cheap, and yeah, pretty cool to own. And the next game we have is Alice Gear Aegis, so this was a blind buy, and you know, not too bad. Another kind of mech fighter, but very, very basic. You know, I didn't play too much, but the little bit I played was pretty fun. Not too bad of a solid blind buy, I would say. And then the final game is Super Bullet Break, so yeah, another blind buy, and this is another roguelike type of game, and kind of like a cards type of collecting roguelike in a way, where you're getting all these different girl characters to fight for you, and yeah, the little bit I played, it was kind of fun and addictive, not going to lie. Like, I had a bit more fun than I probably should have had with this, and yeah, it was not too bad. I'm not sure how much staying power it'll have being a roguelike and all, but hey, not too bad. And so, that's my whole Nintendo Switch collection. If you stayed this long, what are you doing now? Thank you so much for watching, as yeah, let's do the outro now, as yeah, that's a lot of games to get through. And so, that's everything, as yeah, very long video and everything, but man, this was so fun to do. I love doing these collection videos, and yeah, it's just cool because I love talking about these games, whether they're good or bad. It's just fun to talk about and kind of think back, and you know, because for recording these gameplays and all that, I know I didn't have to do that. There's so many YouTubers that allow you to kind of use their footage and all that, as long as you give them credit and things like that, but I just like recording my own gameplay and you know, I just personally enjoy it a lot. Plus, by recording my own gameplay, I can at least tell you a little bit about the game, whether I played only the first hour of a game or the entire playthrough, right? It's just something pretty cool and important to me to just record my own footage, right? So, yeah, it took the last few months of just recording a few at a time, and yeah, it was quite a lot, but you know, I think it was well worth it. It was a lot of fun to do, so thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below about your favorite Switch games, you know, how many Switch games you own, everything like that, and yeah, can't wait for Nintendo's next console for next year, and excited that it's backwards compatible with the Switch, right? So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you again so much for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time for more videos that I do for my channel, which yeah, I think I'm going to do one every Wednesday, where I know I took a break from the obscurely underrated games. I think I'm going to do that once a month. I have kind of plans now to do one video a week and do it on Wednesdays, so yeah, look forward to that either next week or the week after, so yeah, kind of keeping variety, right? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks, have a great rest of your day. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe to see more. Hit the notification bell to be notified of any upcoming videos. Also, follow me on Twitter at TotalLevelYT, along with Twitch, also at TotalLevelYT. Or maybe you only stayed for any skits I put in my video. In that case, please stay anyways. I'm so lonely. Alright, take care and have a great rest of your day, everyone.